React Native. Facebook's mobile development approach has been discussed in tech news on several occasions. After the success of React for HTML, Facebook channeled energy into using React to target mobile apps without affecting the performance and native feel that users expect. As of April 2015, Facebook has deployed 2 apps with React Native, their Groups app and their Ad Manager app. React Native ended up with 10,000 stars in GitHub after its first week of being open sourced. Adoption of React Native is growing and the community is super strong. But what exactly does Facebook hope to achieve with React Native, and why is it so popular? Even though you use React and JavaScript to develop your app, it uses no HTML whatsoever. So it doesn't suffer from performance issues or the feeling that it's not native. We'll look into how this works later on in this course. You also don't need any UIKit experience in order to build an app with React. And believe me, that's a big plus. When you build an app with React Native, you work with only JS and React. But the end result is a 100% native experience for the user. With React Native, it really feels like you're building a web app. This is not only because you use JavaScript and a familiar framework, but also because Facebook put a lot of work into getting the workflow to be web developer friendly. You even reload the app by pressing Command R in the simulator, and it's usually lightning quick for the app to reload with your changes. Any coding setup is just as good as its debugging capabilities, and this is yet another aspect that you'll appreciate about React Native. When you've got your app up and running in the simulator, it's very easy to launch Chrome debug tools and attach it to your app. Just as if you're debugging a web app, it works like a charm. Even with styling, Facebook has delivered the goods. You can style your React components with CSS attributes, and React Native translates it to the correct attributes on the native controls. Not everything is supported, but as you'll see later on in this course, it's sufficient enough to build awesome looking apps without learning any new concepts. Layout can get tricky even with CSS. With React Native, you get to style your components with Flexbox, which is a new web standard draft that solves issues that plagued web developers when they wanted to dynamically lay out and position items in a container.